Hey Foreverlys, it's just Maddie again in this video. I am currently working on getting a new filming space set up because it has been becoming harder and harder to film on my bed with Everly. Especially since he likes to play and I can't really have her on the floor while I'm on the bed talking to a camera. But Everly will be in the next vlog and the next real video. But this one, she is downstairs with my mama. And I just also wanted to say, like, the only time I'm ever away from Everly, like, is when I'm filming. Today we are going to be doing a video about assumptions. As a teen mom, especially being 15 years old, pregnant at 14, I get a lot of assumptions made about me. Then again, assumptions are a part of everyday life. If you don't know someone, I mean, the human instinct is to really assume something about them, which sucks, but it's life. We as people make assumptions. And also, if you notice that I sound like a man today, it's because I have a cold. Yeah, everything on my face probably explains that. The small, puffy eyes, red nose. Tried to cover everything up with makeup, but it didn't really work. But I asked on my Instagram story for y'all to tell me the assumptions you've made about me before or in the present. And today I'm just going to be reading those off and kind of talking about, like, debunking them or saying that they're real, you know. I got a lot of really sweet ones, like saying I'm a good mom, I'm pretty, thank y'all, I love y'all. This video is more about the negative assumptions people make about me. There are going to be some nice ones thrown in there, but this is focusing on the negative ones. But I've seen a few other YouTubers do this video. That's how I got the idea, and I thought it was a good idea, so we're just going to jump right into it. This is my phone. I'm going to be reading them off my phone. The first one says, I'm rich or spoiled, no offense. I mean, I didn't grow up rich. I grew up in a small little city called Colleyville. It's right by South Lake. South Lake is a rich community. So when I tell people I'm from South Lake, because no one knows what Colleyville is, they assume that I grew up rich. I grew up in a one-story house and it was really cozy. I'm not saying there's anything bad about a one-story house, but if I was like rich, I probably would have had a three-story house, you know? I guess I was spoiled as a child. Not like spoiled bad, just like if I wanted something, my mom would get it for me, but if I was like bad about it, I wouldn't get it. I would get things when I deserved them, if that makes any sense. But we did go through some rough financial places. I mean, we are in no way rich, so debunked. This one says, you are actually really popular, but you think it's cool to act like you aren't. I am popular online. There's no denying that. That's just social media popularity. When I go in public, like, I don't really feel popular, you know? I have really bad social anxiety, so I guess that it might just be that I don't think people like me, because that's what I always assume. But in real life, like, I have a lot of friends and stuff, and the reason that I may act like I'm not popular, even though I have a good amount of friends, is probably because I've gone through a lot, and I have been in a place that is not popularity. Well, it was popular, but not in a good way. It's like everyone made fun of you. So when I was known before, I was known for negative things, not positive things. So I guess that's why I feel like I'm not popular. And I don't think it's cool to act like I'm not. I mean, I just act how I feel, so hopefully y'all don't get too mad at me about that. Okay, this one says you spoil your baby too much. I don't really think you can spoil a baby. Like, everyone says you should put your baby in a crib, you should not come to your baby every time they cry. I do attachment parenting. I give her all the attention she needs when she wants it. I parent on demand. You know what that means? Like, if she cries, pick her up, comfort her. I guess you can consider it spoiling. I mean, I don't think you can really have a limit on how much love you receive. But if we're talking about, like, material items, I do buy her a lot of toys. I mean, I love getting her little toys that she can play with, but I think that's more for, like, developing her learning. And my voice may seem like it's cracking, but I swear I'm not gonna cry. Like, it's just because I have a cold and my voice is being weird. I've got this weird little curl right here. What are you doing? But yes, I buy her a lot of toys, but that is just because it helps her develop by playing. This one says, you get everything handed to you. Everything goes easily for you. No offense. This is in no way true. Nothing in my life has been just handed to me. I go through so many things mentally you wouldn't even know. My parents, they teach me that I have to work for what I get. It may seem that way because I don't really talk about my struggles on camera because I want everyone to think that I have this perfect life. But I do have struggles and not everything I get is just handed to me. I've worked for everything that I have. Your mom buys everything. Okay, this is one of the most like common misconceptions. At first, yes, I did need a little bit of help, but the only thing that I really needed for Everly was diapers because she had like an abundance of clothes because a bunch of people had given us clothes for her and she maybe spent about, I don't know, $50 a month on diapers, and that's all she really did. And that was for about, let's say, 6 months, 7 months. And then I started getting my own source of revenue, so I was able to pay for everything for Everly and pay my mom back for what she bought. And now I buy everything for Everly with my own money. Yeah, but I paid her back for everything she bought for Everly, and it was very, very helpful to have her there to help me provide for Everly when I was going through a rough time because I couldn't work because I was only 14. Now I can work legally at some places, but YouTube is my job and I love it, so I'm so happy that I get to stay home with little Missy Everly. What I would do if I wanted to buy Everly like a new outfit or something, I would sell my stuff. Like, I would just go around my room, find out what I didn't need anymore, and sell it online, like on OfferUp, and then use that to buy Everly stuff. It was kind of rough, but I did end up being able to buy Everly stuff without my mom's help. You had a traumatic past. I grew up in a nice household. I mean, I've said this multiple times. I grew up with both parents. Of course, they did get a divorce, but it wasn't like a rough divorce. It was just like, okay, we're not happy together, but we're still gonna be friends, and you're still gonna see both of us, you know? But mentally, I've grown up with anxiety attacks. Had those since about 3rd grade, and those really, like, going through those and having to go to school as like a 7-year-old kid, it was horrible because I would be like dragged to class by teachers, like physically dragged by teachers that are like 3 times the size of me because I was a little kid. I mean, it's hard to think about. And I did have, this isn't something that I'll probably ever talk about, but I'm just gonna say it now because this has come up. I had a suicide attempt when I was about 13 years old. That's the last you're gonna hear about that, but that was pretty traumatic for me. There are some things that have traumatized me, but I feel like they're all from mental illnesses, which obviously they are a lot better now. I do have the occasional like burst of anxiety, but other than that, they are all overcame. I got bullied really bad in school because I had no eyelashes because of a disease for about 3, actually, maybe like 5 years. It was, I don't know, it was rough, but I got through all of it, and that has only made me stronger. Okay, someone says, attaining a higher education isn't your #1 goal in life. I don't really know how to talk about this, but it really isn't, because to me, I'm working on getting my high school diploma, and I want to go to college because, I mean, right now I have what I would call a career, and that's making videos for y'all, and I love it so much. But if this ever doesn't work out, and I'm gonna need something to fall back on, and that would be college, and I think I'm gonna do something political or something like that has to do with law enforcement. Like, I want to major in either criminology or politics. But no, it is not my #1 goal. My #1 goal is to raise Everly, and if my education ever comes in the way of that, I will put it on hold right where I am. I mean, her being happy is my #1 goal. I do want an education. That is very important to me, but in no way is it my #1 goal. This one is very common. People have said very bad things that were not as non-hostile as this one. This one says that I'm a hoe. I'm not. I have social anxiety too bad to even consider being a hoe. I can barely look guys in the eye without shaking. I mean, yeah, it's a mess. Even before I had Everly, I wasn't a hoe. I had a boyfriend and we did stuff and Everly came. Yeah, but he's the only person I've ever done stuff with, so No, I'm not a hoe. Or a garden tool, for that matter. Like, I don't know if they mean like hoe or like hoe, like the garden thing. I'm not a garden tool. This one's really sweet. It says, you can't find a boyfriend because you're not trying. Come on, you're gorgeous. So, I am not trying in any way. But that's not the only reason, because at one point I was trying. I mean, I wouldn't like go slide into guys' DMs because that's not really my, I don't know, I wouldn't really do that because I feel like me having a kid is such like a foreign territory for teenage boys. Like, they don't really know about that. So I didn't try very hard, but I did try for a while. And I ended up talking to a guy and it just didn't work out. It took too much attention away from Everly. And my trust has been compromised many times in my life. So I just have problems with dating, you know, and it just doesn't really sound appealing to me to have a boyfriend. I've been single so long that solitude is what I'm used to, and I feel like I'm better off alone. So if I ever date someone, just know they're special. You're not a real blonde, is what I'm going to assume. Okay, so this one's like, it's hard to answer because I was born blonde. I grew up blonde, and then my hair started getting darker, so I started dyeing it. It's naturally a dirty blonde, like almost brown at this point, but it was this color when I was little, if that makes any sense. You're forcing Everly to be vegetarian. Okay, I'm not really forcing her to do anything. I think the real people forcing their kids to do stuff are people who eat meat. They're forcing their kids to consume dead animals without them knowing, oh, this is a dead chicken. They watch little cartoons with little chickens, but little do they know they're eating them. If Everly ever wants to eat meat, I will talk to her. I'll tell her what it actually is. Like, this is a dead animal. It's basically a decaying corpse that we cook up on the grill. So I will explain that to her, but if she ever does want to eat meat, I will be fine with that as long as she knows what it is and where it comes from. You're going to have another child before you turn 21. Probably. I want to. But gosh, the only thing about having another kid is I need a boyfriend or a fiance for that. And I really don't see that in my future, so maybe I'll just like find a sperm donor because, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to find a boyfriend eventually so I can like have a family, because I forgot that I can't reproduce asexually. I mean, sometimes it just slips my mind. You seem to be a feminist. Is that true? Because I hope so. Love you and Ev, we love you. But yes, I am. There's a lot of controversy, I guess, around feminism, but I believe women and men are equal in every way, except for like some of our anatomy. You started makeup young. Yes, I did. I started makeup in about 4th grade, maybe even 3rd. I wore eyeliner. It wasn't like heavy eyeliner though. It was just, I didn't have eyelashes because of a disease, and I would put eyeliner just on my lids, like where eyelashes grow, like my waterline. So it would look like I had eyelashes until you like came up close. But yes, I did start makeup young and I fell in love with it, and to this day is one of my favorite things. I assumed that you only had a baby for the clout. Okay, so in most situations, being a teen mom would not give you clout. Like, you will be ridiculed, you will be made fun of, people are mean, and when I first became a teen mom, I never thought that being a teen mom would like help me grow a channel and talk about my experiences. I thought that it would make it where I had like no friends, but honestly I was okay with that because I would have a little baby. But no, I never thought about clout when I got pregnant with Everly, and I definitely did not plan becoming a teen mom. That I was a wild party girl before Everly. Nope, I have social anxiety. I basically just stayed home, watched TV. I mean, I went to like 1 or 2 parties, and they were like middle school parties, so yeah, definitely wasn't a wild party girl. You hide your anxiety from Everly and most people. Honestly, my anxiety is hard to hide because I'll stutter, I'll shake. It's a really, like, it's a physical anxiety because it shows in my motions and like my face. It's hard to hide, but I try not to talk about it because I don't know, it's just a hard thing to talk about. I mean, when I'm having bad anxiety, like, I'll tell my mom, my anxiety is really bad right now, I just need a minute. Like, I don't really try to hide it, but of course from like friends and stuff, like I won't really mention it as much because it's kind of like a foreign thing to most people. Okay, someone said they would assume that I'm irresponsible and my mom takes care of Everly. Okay, right now Everly's with my mom, but the only time she's ever with my mom is when I'm filming or when I go get lash fills, and those are both like 20-minute things. So maybe out of a week my mom has Everly for like an hour a week. I take care of Everly for the majority of the time. My mom has her for about an hour a week, and the rest of the time I am with Everly. When I'm like vlogging, it's hard to show the parts that I'm actually with Everly because I don't have anyone to film for me, and it's hard to like pick up a camera and film when you're trying to play with your baby. But yeah, I do take care of my baby, and I'm definitely not irresponsible. I have been taught responsibility from a young age, and yeah, that's that. I am against abortion. This is the assumption. I am personally against it. Like, I would never get one, but I am still pro-choice because the only thing outlawing abortion would do is outlaw safe abortions. So people would resort to far more dangerous methods, killing themselves and their babies. I do not like abortion at all. It makes me really sad, but I still support the right to choose. This one says, I assume that you don't have a good relationship with your dad. This one's not true. I mean, I've never really been close to men my whole life. I guess I've just kind of like preferred women. So I'm kind of like awkward around men, if that makes any sense. But me and him still have a close relationship. He is, I don't know how to say this, but he's kind of like a child. Like, he's kind of like my friend, you know, like we can like joke about stuff. And we do have a very good relationship. I don't see him as much because it's hard for me to like go to his house on weekends and bring Everly because Everly's whole setup is at home, and I'd have to like pack so much if I wanted to go there for 2 days. But me and him do hang out sometimes, and I love my dad. We talk on the phone all the time, and we do have a good relationship. So yeah, a lot of people assume that like since I got pregnant so young I had like an absent father, but that is not the case at all. This one says, you're really smart education wise. I don't like bragging on myself, but ever since kindergarten I've been in the honors and gifted and talented program, and I've always just been known as smart. I guess it's just genetic, and I grew up reading, I grew up writing. I always loved math. I loved science. Social studies not so much. But I do consider myself smart. Like book smart, street smart, all the smart. And that's something I really do pride myself in. This one says, they assume that I'm too clingy. This is true. I'm a very clingy person. I need constant reassurance, and this is one of the reasons that I don't date. I am a very clingy person, and I always assume the worst. Like, if someone doesn't text me back, I'm like, oh my god, they're doing something, they don't like me anymore, they hate me. So that's the kind of like, I don't know, I guess I am too clingy. I mean, it's fine though, that's just how I am. I try not to be though. Okay, this one says that I'm tall. False, I'm 5'2". They assume that I'm a family person. This is very true. Family is the most important thing to me. I mean, I think I text my mom more than anybody. I want to have a big family. This is very true. I want 2 to 5 more kids. So definitely 2 more, but it could exceed up to 5. I come from a big family, so of course I would want a big family. I couldn't imagine it any other way. I assume that you have smoked weed or a cigarette or vaped. Actually, when I was 12 years old, someone brought a vape to my birthday party and I tried it. But that's the only time I've ever tried it. I was 12 and I've never smoked weed or anything like that. Okay, this one says, okay, this one, like, it was asked a ton, so I wanted to save it for like the end of the video as like a little special thing. But this one says, they assume that I want to get back together with Isaac. That is actually false. He has a girlfriend. I'm happy alone. And like, I just couldn't see myself dating him again. I mean, of course, I still like him as a friend, and I want to be close to him as friends. But no, I don't want to get back together with him. I think we'll just have a good friendship. I mean, but you never know, but I really don't see it in the future. I highly doubt it. Okay, they assume that I have lip fillers, but they know I don't. But I do not. I just have naturally big lips. Someone commented and said that lipstick is so weird, it freaks me out because my lips look so big. So maybe my lips like freak people out, I don't know, but I don't have lip fillers. If I could get lip unfillers, I would. Like, just like suck out the fat from my lips so I look a little bit more human, please. This one says, you secretly wanted a boy. No, not at all. I mean, I want to have a boy eventually, but I didn't really want my first kid to be a boy. Okay, you spend more money on Ev than you do yourself. Yeah. Okay, this one says, you feel like you have to justify every second Everly spends without you. Yes, and this is something I really struggle with because as a teen mom, I feel like I have to constantly prove myself. So every time she's with my mom, I feel like everyone's just thinking, oh my god, she doesn't take care of her kid, her mom takes care of her kid. And I do feel like I have to justify every single second that she spends with my mom. Okay, this one, y'all, apparently some of y'all think I'm lying about my age. This one says that I'm about 18. I am 15. My birthday is in April. I don't turn 16 for another like 6 months, so I am very young. Even for like my grade, I'm a 10th grader. So yeah, I am not 18. Sometimes I wish I was 18 so I could be like done with school. Like when people ask my age, I wouldn't have to say I'm 15. This one says, this one's really funny. It says, honestly sis, I didn't assume you were a hoe. I just assumed you were a country rodeo girl. No. I may have grown up in Texas and I live in Texas, but my dad is a northerner and I guess I'm really influenced from that. Definitely a lot of yeehaw cowgirl girl. Yeah, no, not me. I feel like a northerner in a southern state. The only thing Texan about me is that I pronounce things wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. On Monday, I'm going to be hosting a Q&A with Everly's dad. Unless like the plans fall through, but that is what's planned. Make sure you follow my social medias. They will be in the description below. Make sure you check out my other videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. PST, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.